Hey guys, this is Jeanette from Backroom Creations. Today we are going to make my PIXIE wreath all that glitters with a special little sign. How is everybody today? Been thinking about those people down in the Louisiana way. You know, it's a horrible thing. Some say it was worse than Katrina, some say it's not. I was looking at some live things a while ago. Come on. Where's my live at? There we go. Oh, my light. There we go. It's easier to do on the computer sometimes. So we'll just share to a couple little websites. I thought I'd try coming on during the morning to see maybe I'm missing some people. Evenings are so busy with a lot of different people. You know, some people work evenings, some people just have stuff to do in the evenings, they have kids. So I thought I would try. Oh, come on, Nazi. Okay, that's the last one. There we go. Good morning, Angela. You like my haircut? It's a little shorter than what I wanted, but it'll grow, so. It was really easy to do. Just, you know, dry it, curl my bangs, I'm over. Cool. So this is what we're doing today again. We're going to do the PIXIE wreath, all that sparkles, or all that's glitter. So I want to walk you through from when you get your box to open it up, and show you what everything is. So I don't have a box, but you're going to take everything out of your box and you're going to have your sign. You're going to have 2 rolls of mesh in the blue and the silver. You're going to have pipe cleaners, and then you're going to have a bag of goodies. So these, the little ones, are for your bow. There's 2 yards each. Here's your zip tie for your bow. Here is your glitter ribbon and some diagonal navy blue ribbon. And this itty bitty little wreath form. So and then in all my kits, you're gonna get like an info sheet of everything that we just went through and supplies that you might need. So you're either going to need scissors and a ruler, or a self-healing mat and a rotary cutter. They can be sharp. Someone that bought one of my kits actually told me she cut herself. I use E6000 to help put my... I knew I was forgetting something. There's cable mounts, because it says it on your sheet. I just forgot to get them out. So I got little ones for the kit. I don't know if you can see those. A pipe cleaner will go right through them. Maybe you can see a bigger one better. I put these on the bigger signs. They're for cables, but they go right through there. So I use E6000 just because if somebody hangs their sign out where it's a little warm, the little adhesive tabs don't hang on. So I put E6000 on it. You let it dry. It's almost like contact cement. You let them dry a little bit and then you stick them together. Or you can punch holes in the sign and do it with wire. So I will send you the cable mounts to do it. But if you want to punch holes in your kit and do it with wire, you can do that. And a bow maker. So my bow maker, you can do your bows by hand. I cannot do them by hand. So I use the Easy Deluxe Easy Bow Maker to make all my bows, or you can use the Bodabra, which, where is my Bodabra? I don't know where I put it. So I rearranged my room. So I painted some stuff and I hung some curtains and just trying to make it a little more cheerful. So you're going to get all that, and then here's the picture on my website. Floyd's going to, he got it, yep, he got it tagged there at the bottom, and that is where you can go to buy this kit. I have 4 kits available. So let's prep our sign so we're not having to wait later. So the E6000 is like goopy jelly. You don't need a whole lot. We thought in the very beginning it needed like squirt it on there. Nope. I just dab it a little bit. Dab it a little bit. So we just have a couple little dabs on there. And then here at the very end, sometimes I use a, I really wish I knew what I do with my whatever.
Is it in this blue bin?
We're going to smush it around just a bit. Smush it around and thin it out a little bit so it's not quite so goopy, so hopefully it'll be dry. Okay. So we'll set that off to the side. Where's my lid? Here we go. So I prefer to, I got that hint from, or tip from somebody else. E6000 is like great if you use it right. It will like glue the world. Ah! My hubby found mine. Here's my Dabra. I bought one. I don't use that. I bought one just to be an extra hand because I can't hold ruffles and rolls and all that stuff in my hand while I'm working. So you're going to get your pipe cleaners. You're going to have 2 for your sign, 1 for your bow, and 10 for your wire ring. So you're going to put your ties on, and they're going to be about 4 inches apart. You're going to put 5 on the outside and 5 on the inside. So how I do it is I kind of lay over, you can switch cameras now. You lay over this, and that tells you where your next one goes. So we'll just put these on. I kind of wanted to walk you through all the steps because not everybody's on the same level, and that's quite all right. Everybody's got to start learning somewhere. I actually have only been making wreaths for less than a year. I started last winter, about March, and then the old icky word COVID hit. Hi Carol, how are you? Thank you for joining us. If you guys wouldn't mind sprinkling the love. Carol, we're just getting our PIXIE kit wreath ready. So there's 4 and 5. So you see, if you do the method of, I don't go quite to the end. Give them about 3. See, they're pretty. Oh, we're here now. We're pretty much even all the way around. And then in my middle, I just go between the outside ones. This only I actually did one last night just as an experiment. Angela got to see it. It was only 6 ties total, 3 on the outside and 3 on the inside, and it was different. So cute. I need to make a sign for it. Always trying to find new ways of doing things and not doing the same thing over and over again. I needed to do this one today because of my kits being available. I don't have a video of it yet. So I kind of pull on them a little tight give them about 3 twists just so they don't move around a whole lot. Push these down to the middle. It's kind of a cute wreath, even though it's only an 8-inch frame. The couple ones that we made ended up being, 15, 16 inches wide. Great for like an office door, or maybe you have a narrow hallway and you don't need all that fluffiness out hitting you in the face as you walk down. Okay, so I'm sure that you saw it hanging behind me. Here is I wanted to make this just to make sure that I liked it before I offered it as a kit. So the only thing different on this way? Okay, sorry. My cameraman is telling me which way to go. So the only thing different is this mesh will be a gray metallic. This one. I couldn't get this one enough for a kit, so I switched it out with that. But that's what we're making. Okay, so we got all our ties on. And now we're going to do our mesh. We'll set that to the side. Should have opened these. You're going to hear crinkle, crinkle, crinkle for a minute. But we're doing it from start to finish. So that's our metallic blue. You can see the glistens in it. I like metallic mesh. Of course, everybody that knows me knows I like glitter. Hi, Bob. How you doing, Bob? Okay, so I don't have a mesh roller, so you can do this with scissors and a ruler. Mark it out. Hold your ruler down and mark it out. These are going to be 20 inches long. So if you don't have a mat, you could put a couple pieces of tape on your table to mark you out 20. Get your tape measure out and mark 20 inches out on your table, and then you could roll it out and then you could cut it if you don't have a rotary cutter and a mat. I made that up on myself. I'm proud. Okay, so we're going to cut our mesh at the same time. And you can do that with scissors as well, or you can not do it if you don't want to think that you might mess it up. I give it an evening out cut because it's always wonky. So we're going to do 10 20-inch pieces. And if it's 19 or if it's 21, it's not a big deal. I could probably do the beginning ones without my little wood pieces. The rolls tend to not gang up on you too bad. When you get closer down to the end of the roll, they are really rolling after you. So you can see how easy it is to just cut your stuff at once if you have a rotary cutter. I don't know if I'd want to do it with scissors. Here, I'll show you. So I'm doing both. So if you have a mat or a piece of tape, you just want to follow your mark. I'll do one more with my scissors. Now the only reason I like to do it with the rotary cutter is it does just do a very straight line. Even though I'm following this line, it may cause your mesh to fray a little bit more. But nonetheless, if you don't have the supplies, that I have, because I make a lot of wreaths, you can use your table and a pair of scissors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oop, 8. So normally I do this part beforehand. I try to get everything as much prepped as I can, just so you're not on here as long. But some people that bought my other kits messaged me and had some questions that maybe I could have explained in the video better. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there you got, enough for another project. Okay. So we are doing the woodland ruffle. Get my wreath back out here. So we're going to start on the outside ties. These ones that are flipped out here. Oops. Goes inside. So I use this as an extra hand. It's great. You can get one at Michael's, usually coupon. I think they're only like $15 full price. So I have arthritis in my hands. So it's really a great thing. I use clothespins. You can use chip clips. I even got these little, these aren't for, won't work good for the mesh, but these are real little ones. If you have anything real, those are at Dollar Tree. I use them to hold fabric onto the pumpkin frame and stuff. So we're going to roll, let's show you. We're going to roll our stuff. Now, if you have troubles finding out how far you should roll, get you a dowel rod. This is the inner tube of my mesh. You can roll it and then take it out. And then put a clip on it. And then you're going to turn it around. And I'm rolling about 3 or 4 times. About 3. And then that last one, you're going to put your thumbs down. You're going to hold your roll. And then you're going to walk your roll to your next one. And it's going to make a butterfly. So I use my Bodabra to hold my butterfly. Just like that. Okay? So I'll do one more with the roll. I find it faster to do it the other way, but everybody's got their own niches and needs and everything. You can do it your way, whatever way best suits you. I got most of it painted, Bob. Am I supposed to do that with the roll? Then we're going to walk this up in the middle and meet it. Just like that. I didn't cut my ribbon yet. Shame on me. Because we're going to do this, we're going to make kind of like a bundle in the Bodabra. And we'll just put it in all at once. So when you get your ribbon ties, they were folded in half. Like that. You're going to open them up. And then you see how they're folded. And you can find the middle right there. You're just going to take your scissors and slide them in there. Like that. And you're going to cut right on that fold. You're going to flip it around because these are 12 inches. And you're going to cut it like that. Easy, easy way. Then I used to, when I first started, I would roll it out, cut it 12, roll it out, cut it 12. It took a lot more time. Okay. Cut it those. Good sharp pair of scissors. Not to cut yourself, but you know. There you go. Okay, so you can leave them like that. You can angle them or you can dovetail them. I usually dovetail mine. Done my little experiment last night. I didn't. I cut them at an angle. So you're going to fold them. I usually do 3 at a time. Kind of depends on how thick the material is or the ribbon is. So you're going to fold it like this. Here's your fold. Now, how big of an angle depends on how deep of a dovetail you want. I like mine pretty pronounced, so that it's about 45 degrees. And then that's what you get. If you tend to do more than 3 or 4 at a time, you might not get all your ribbons, dovetails cut the same way. Sometimes they get a little wonky and you have to redo 1 or 2. I would soon just do it right the first time. And that way you don't have to go back through and redo any that kind of got all out of sorts. We do have exciting news. Angela knows already. We have our own website. I'll just warn this one. So we had bought a website back a few months ago, and it was a little more difficult to do than what we had anticipated. My husband and I, we knew code and how to do that, but websites just aren't like that anymore. So there, we have all our blue. Always buy wired ribbon. The only time I will go against that is a lot of the gross grain ribbons, like you make hair ties with, have cute little images on them, or for kids. You can soak that in liquid starch and wring it out through your fingers. Oop, that one didn't cut. And have it dry. Dry it on wax paper, dry it on a little rack, whatever. And it'll be stiff enough to make your wreath with. I don't recommend that. If your wreath is out on your door and gets wet and you've done that, you may have issues later. Only time I did it was for an indoor wreath. Hi Linda, how are you? Thank you for stopping by. We are making our PIXIE kit today. All that glitters. Those who know me know I love glitter. And it is all over the house. My husband has banished me from his room. Says I can't do it. Of course, he's doing signs and vinyl and all that, so we can't have glitter in there. Oop, this one's not tight enough. How you doing, Linda? There we go. Okay. So now we've got our bundles. Now I'm going to do silver on bottom, blue on top. The next one will have blue on bottom, silver on top. So you're just going to alternate them. If you don't want to alternate them in your kit, that is totally up to you. You'll just get a slightly different look. You'll get more of a layered look. So what we're going to do is we're going to line up our ribbons, our skinny one on top, our bigger one on bottom. These are 2.5 inch and 1.5 inch. And fold it in half. You're going to find your midpoint. There's your midpoint. And then you're going to scrunch it. You're going to make like a fan. You know, when we made those fans in school because we were too hot. Then it's going to look like a little bird. You kind of just fold out the I don't want to say the pinch where you pinched it. Make sure nothing's folded over. And you're going to slide it down in here. Pick everything up. Now, if you cannot think that you can do this, you can do one thing at a time. I used to myself. I'd put on, squeeze it down and do it 3 times. Also going to need a pair of wire cutters. Or, if you use your scissors, don't blame me because they don't cut later. I have a real good pair of scissors that I tend not to cut twisty ties and all that on it. So here you're going to take, did I do that on this side? Yeah, I did it on this side. So you're going to take these ribbons and you're going to make a V. So here's your V. And then you're going to make sure that they're not going anywhere. If you twisted them in good enough, you can yank on them. So you're going to yank this one that way, make this one that way. So there you're going to alternate your ribbons just like that. I want to show you how to not do it by a bundle. If you don't think that you can do it that way, or maybe you don't have a Bodabra, so we need to do the blue. So I'm not going to use the rolly thing anymore. Kind of slows me down a little bit. Have a little weight, a rock, your rotary cutter. I've seen people use their phones. So we're going to singly do this. So here's our next tie. I'm going to put my blue in, give it one twist. Now we're going to do our silver grayish color. It's gray mesh, but it's a silver metallic through it, so it still sparkles. I love sparkles. And then walk it up through the middle. Here's an easier point too. If you don't think you can hold this and put this in at the same time and get all your ties, leave a clothespin on it. So we're actually attempting to switch these a little bit there. Okay, so take this whole thing, set it on there. Your clothespin's on there. It's holding it for you so it don't go nowhere, so you can get your your pipe cleaner. And then while you twist it once, take your clip off. See? We're using all the same ribbons, just 2 ribbons in this one. A lot of people in a big wreath will use 2 1.5s and 2 2.5s. We're just going to use 2 ribbons. Then you can put your ribbon ties in. So if you don't have a Vodabra, or you think you can't have enough clothespins to keep everything together, you know, whatnot, you can do it that way. Hopefully that'll help some people. My comments aren't scrolling. Angela's secretly meshing me, asking me if I got which apron I got from Angela. I got, first time I got the heavy duty one, the canvas one, and this one's more of a, I don't know, I think it said lightweight, because that canvas one, I just get too hot in it. Maybe in the winter time.
Linda said really pretty colors, kind of Dallas Cowboy look.
Oh yeah, it is kind of Dallas Cowboys look. Thank you. I was going for the kind of wintry look, but yeah, it would go for Dallas Cowboys. You could use this and put, you know, something else on your sign. Some of my ties, I try not to pull too tight because you don't want to bend your wreath form. It's just the 8-inch ones from Dollar Tree. So now we're going to do our silver on the bottom. If y'all have any questions, just let me know. This is 20-inch mesh. Or 10-inch mesh cut 20 inches long. Use my other hand. I love that thing. Oh, I can't believe I made wreaths so long without it. I didn't buy one till, oh, it was probably a couple months ago.
Angel said, me too. I wanted something lighter that isn't hot.
Yeah.
Does it have pockets?
Yes. This one's got pockets. My other heavy one does not. This one has pockets. And I think it only came in like red, black, and cream or tan.
And then Bob asked if you're hiring.
Bob, you and I need to talk.
And then Linda asked, said hi Angela, and then wanted to know where you got the apron.
I got the apron from, see, look at that, it's wonky. I got it from Jiffy Shirts. We do t-shirts, custom t-shirts as well. And that's where we get our t-shirts and kids shirts, and they have aprons and hats and all kinds of things. They do not require a wholesale license.
Linda also says she doesn't have a Vodabra, she needs one.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Linda, just get one. Get your, I got it at Michael's. I used my coupon. It has, and then you can just, you know how like Lori from Hardworking Mom, she just does everything all at once as she goes around. It helps so much. It cut the time in my lives. Now this one's probably going to be a little bit longer because I'm walking it from very start, from opening up your mesh to cutting it, just because I want people to understand, you know, everybody's got to start somewhere. When I started, I watched YouTube after YouTube of Lori from Hardworking Mom and Laura from Laura's Wreath Room and Damon and Dylan, Crazy Maisie. I watch her a lot. She's a hoot.
Creation.
Oh, I watched Angela too. That's how Angela and I got to become friends. So see how that flops over on me? Just put something on there. Scissors, rotary cutter, phone. I've seen somebody do a remote, like a remote control for a TV. Sue has a little rock with a paw print on it. Real cute. Yeah, my comments aren't scrolling. All right. You could almost do this as a a pancake style wreath. If you just, instead of a woodland ruffle, just do a basic ruffle, and it would be a little flatter. The loops on the ends tend to make it be a little more pronounced. So we'll go back to gray. I really just fold mine over, and then, you know, they pop up. So about an inch, fold it over, 1, 2, so it's 1, 2, 3, and then.
You guys are more like double trouble.
Who did that?
Angela.
Oh, double trouble, yeah. And if you see, there's 2 ways you can put your ruffles in. I'll show you just a sec when I get this one done. So once you get everything rolled up in the middle, you see how this is, you can see your roll, and then here's your ruffle, and here's your roll. You can also put it in like this. You'll see more of a ruffle look than you will a roll. I like them up. When you buy your ribbon, you can, if you're going to make very many wreaths, and you have like a common color, like this can be used all year long. And so I bought a 50-yard roll of it. It's a lot cheaper that way in the long run. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's my other one? Here it is. If you're watching the replay, hit replay so I know that you watched it, and let me know. It'll send me a little message. If you wouldn't mind spreading the love. Those of you who do not know what that means, it means that, but I cannot say that on Facebook. I can say it on YouTube, but I can't say it on Facebook. I have four kits left of this. He's got it pinned at the bottom of the screen. So if you wanted to do a regular ruffle and do this, you could. I tend to do the woodland ruffle a lot, but you lay it down, curling down, and then a woodland ruffle would just, you would just take it and just walk your fingers up and do it this way. It makes a circle, or a butterfly first, and then we make a circle on the mat, or on the frame. You can also do it that way. That's how we do pancake wreaths, ones that go in between the storm door and the solid door, because there's not a whole lot of room in there.
On the ask if this looks all right.
Thanks, Linda. It is on the part that they did the surgery. It's healed up. I just have a scar and a scab. It's still healing. I had a pain in the top part of my foot that we thought would go away. That came back as I started to get more mobile. So I haven't been wearing the shoes with my orthotics in it because of the surgery. The surgery bothered it. So I may just have, if I go back to wearing those, it may help. I run around barefooted all the time because I'm at home. You want to give it, but thank you for asking. You want to give it about 3 good twists. Now here, we're back to the middle. You want to, I call it a tulip. You're going to make them cross each other. Oop, I'm wonky here. Okay, so we got like a cross, okay? So then you're gonna, this is why you have wired ribbon. I just kind of take it and I kind of curl it with my fingers. And I call it a tulip. It kind of just makes the ribbon stand up a little bit, especially if you've got thick mesh. These ribbon ties are cut at 12 inches. Some people do theirs a little bit longer. So, but that's how we do the inside one. Okay? I'm looking at the screen like I'm going to read something, and my comments didn't. They stopped scrolling on me, so. Floyd's here to tell me. I may be doing a few other lives. I want to make some more things. I'm going to do a craft show in October. It's just a one-day deal, but I want to get some more. I want some more Christmas done. Got quite a few fall done. So you may see me a little bit more. I figured I might as well do them on a live if I gotta make them. Hey Bob, have you heard of, what's it called, August? Wendell August Forge. It's out by Berlin, Millersburg way. It's where I'm gonna have my craft show. See how this is just starting to fill up so nice? I haven't been cutting off my ties either.
Linda asked where we're located.
We're in Ohio, Linda. I think she's in Texas. If you cut your ties off, don't cut them down all the way to the bottom. If you make a mistake and you need to move something around, you will not have anything to untie it. I have made that mistake and I have learned that lesson.
Linda said, yep, Texas.
Yep, I thought so. Sometimes it's hard to remember where everybody's from. Because a lot of the people that I watch their lives, they're from North Carolina, South Carolina, and then in the South, you know, Louisiana. Sure hope them guys down there are okay.
Linda says she's been to Canton and Flue.
Oh, Canton's just half an hour north. Oh, there's my other tie. Okay, that's what we on blue. Sometimes as it gets fuller, it's kind of hard to find your ties, especially when you make them the same color, which is good for one, you know, to hide them, but on the other hand, to find them when you're working on it sometimes is a chore. So Angela, what big project are you doing today to redo your craft area? See, it sticks together. These PIXIE wreaths, even though they're small frame, they do get full. Especially if you add a bunch of stuff to it, or, you know. I don't tend to add a bunch of embellishments on mine, just because I don't want to hide my mesh. That's my personal preference. There's nothing wrong with anybody else that does. Make that clear. It's just my personal preference. You know, I see the mesh. Now, if it's a basic mesh on the bottom, like if you're doing poofs for a base,
Shirley said Tennessee is here.
Oh, who's from Tennessee?
Shirley.
Oh, I didn't see her come in. Hi, Shirley. How are you? Welcome to my page. Thank you for stopping by. What part of Tennessee? I have family down there. I mean, distant. I don't talk to them, but, you know, they're still family. A lot of genealogy roots down there.
Angela's painting her monogram right after she got.
You're finally going to do that? What colors are you painting it? That's a good way, too, to find your ties that you're missing. Just look on the bottom and see which ones don't have any mesh in. Two right there. Yep, two more. So I need to do blue.
Shirley's from Cookville.
Oh, I've heard of that. My family is over by Knoxville. Knoxville. My mom was born in Clinton. It's over that way, Anderson County. Clinton, Oak Ridge area. So we are making a pixie wreath. It's a lot smaller than a normal wreath. They still get real full, but they are usually about 15-16 inches when you get done with them. I did the scarecrow one here a few weeks ago. So, okay. If you're here, say hi and let me know that you're here.
Angela said that monogram rail is a T. She's painting it white so she can switch out the rails for different colors.
Ah, yeah, good idea.
And then she's going to make a Halloween rail for it.
I know I want to get one because I want to do like Halloween and Christmas and Thanksgiving and fall and spring and.
Shirley said 100 miles from Knoxville, 100 miles from Nashville. Right in there.
Oh, that's right. You're right in the middle. Isn't it like Statesville? Maybe. Clarksville. That's what I'm thinking of. Okay, one more. Looks like I cut too many ribbons again. I always do that. I get to flop it around my... I'll show you just a minute how I get my ribbons to 12 inches really quickly. You can buy things that are called ribbon tails. It's just a board that you wrap your... I do mine on... This is an acrylic quilter's ruler. It's 12 inches long. And I'll show you here really quick. I don't want to lose the pin. I don't want to step on it later. So when you're doing these, if you would do it, you can buy perfect tails from a lot of different people. Hot Mesh Mom and Burlap Boutique sell them. So you're going to hold it here and you're just going to wrap. So there's two, one on each side. And then you just keep keep wrapping until you get the amount that you need. And then if I want to do 14 inch, I have a 7-inch one and I wrap it, but I only cut it on one end. And that'll give you 14.
They asked what kind of mesh cutter are you using?
Mesh cutter, this is my Rotary Cutter. Just a Fiskars brand. I bought it at Walmart. And then you can change out your blade when your blade gets dull. You always want to use those on a self-healing mat like this. If you use it on your table, it will cut it. Even after a long time, you know, we have certain marks. They're like every 10 inches where we cut a lot of our mesh. people I've seen grooves. I got glue on my one. I had this one mat for like 25 years. And just because I didn't use it a tremendous a lot, no rotary cutters and whatnot. But I got glue all over it, so I bought this one on Amazon. It's blue on the other side. I trade it back and forth from time to time. 2, 3, 4. Did I make an extra one? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Ah, there it is. Oh, lost my roll. Just, if you lose your roll, just scram it up in your hand. One more in here. So you can see that we made this, and I was explaining every little thing in 45 minutes. Usually it takes me over an hour when I'm explaining things and showing things and all that good stuff. So I usually don't make a bow on here just because I struggle a little bit at our bows. But today I'm going to make a bow because I got to show you. I do spray mine a little bit with some Krylon triple thick clear glaze, just to keep the mesh from unraveling. Always make sure on the back that you have any ties from, you know, all these obviously are tied up front, but like when you attach stuff, make sure they're all nice and neat. I usually don't put a back on my wreaths. If I have one maybe that's got a lot of stuff on the back or wire, I will put a back. You can use a round. For a big one, you can use a round placemat from Walmart or Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree, you know, they're $1, and Walmart, I think they're $2. Okay, so this is our wreath. See, it's nice and full. It is 17 inches by about 17, 18. You know, we aim to make a circle one, but sometimes a roll sticks out further than another one, so make these ribbons go where I want them. Okay, so now I got the Easy Bow Maker. Oh, you're gonna hear a very loud thud. I got my little hammer to make sure that my peg stays in. Yep, I had one lonely ribbon. Don't throw your extra ribbons away, because I have a whole drawer full. When you're making a bow and maybe you want a little center in the middle, this is kind of long, but you know, if you want just a center in your bow, these are good for that. Your short pieces of ribbon I use for funky bows and all kinds of stuff. So we're done with that. Here's our pipe cleaner and our twist. Now, some people just use pipe cleaners to put around their bows. I tend to use a zip tie just because I can't twist that hard on the pipe cleaners to get the bow tight enough. I feel like it's going to fall apart.
And the set is so cool.
Thank you. That was my aim. So we got some more glitter ribbon. We have some more. I may not fold these up like this again. I had a lady with a kit one. She contacted me. She cut up all her ribbon. So I was trying to make it look different than the other. Then we have a couple more sparklies. I love this one. It's called a white. Oh, it's just called glitter on metallic. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna fold those up there like that again. When I'm done with this, I will have glitter all over me. I'll have it on my face, all over the floor. Okay, I'm trying to remember what I started with. The white one. I was trying to look at my other bow. So I tend to dovetail as I go. Now you have 2 yards of each one. We're making a funky bow. But you can make whatever kind of bow you want. If you want one with long tails, now it is pixie wreath, so I wouldn't go too long. But I am tending to make a funky bow. We're going to make about 8-inch tails. So you're going to, I'm pinching my ribbon, and then I'm going to twist it. Some people twist it after they get it between their dowel rods or in the bodabra. I tend to do it right before I put them in there. Then, so you got your right side up, you got your back side. This is your back side of your ribbon. It gives you a ruler on here. So take your finger and slide it up. We're going to make a 6-inch bow. Now, when you make a 6-inch bow, that does not mean you need 6 inches of ribbon. That means you need 12. 6 on top and 6 on bottom. So hold your finger there, slide this through, and then you want this top and this on the back side. So I take it and I pinch it and I push it down. Make sure my bow is still on the 6-inch mark. You can take your tail and get it out of your way. Then we're going to find our 6 over here. Here's our 6. We're going to slide it back in. Same thing, I want it right side up. Oop, a little bit longer, just pull it through. And we got our back side over here, and we're going to make 2 loops on each side. I think. Yeah, I think so. So 6-inch mark again. Twist it, or you can just use the other loop if you want. I pushed mine out of the way. Oops, now this last one, you're just going to push it down. You want, see now my ribbon, the edge of my ribbon is up, you want it down. You're just going to push it in there, because this is my ribbon tail. Always cut the folded side. You can cut your ribbon tails, your tail, shorter if you like later. You cannot always add material. So cut it short and then you can trim it later. Now I used to stack my ribbon all on top of each other. And I watch Angela and she moves all her stuff around. Snack a drink real quick. There we go. Okay, then we're going to do, we did the blue glitter. I love this. This would go like on wintry ice blue, wreaths for winter. You could use that like a princess, blue princess. I just love glitter, so. We're still going to do an 8-inch tail, because if I want it shorter later, I can trim it. You're going to make it like a little fan. You're going to pinch it again. So we did 6 the first time. Now we're going to do about 5.5. Or a finger width shorter than the white. Told you it takes me a little bit to make bows. That's why I normally make them beforehand. See, everybody struggles. My first wreaths didn't have a bow on them. I'm like, no, I can't make a bow. I'm not putting one on it. So I was looking at some pictures, and I've actually got a couple hanging in here that don't have bows on them. They're springtime wreaths. I will probably put bows on them next spring. Practice, practice, practice. That's all I can say. So we're going to do 2 inch or 2 loops on each side of the 5.5 inch here. Now I got a little bit short, so I'm just going to pull it through. You can pull it through while it's twisted as well. Just let go a little bit. If you have the Easy Bow Maker or any other kind of maker that has the dowel rods and it keeps rising up as you let go of it, stick a clothespin on it. Now it's not going anywhere. Yes, you have to move the clothespin every time you want to put a ribbon in there, but it's like my extra hand. So this is our last one, so we just scrunch it down in. Okay? I always dovetail my tails. And it's so pretty. Okay. Now we're going to do our lavender. It's called a multi something directional navy blue. I also bought it in the 1.5 inch, and I didn't pay attention in my cart, and I bought 4 rolls of it. So it's a good thing I can use it all year long, because I got plenty of it. So I just move it, I put it in, then I put my clothespin back. Just how I do it. That's a Jeanette trick. I didn't learn that one from anybody. Here again, we're going to go about a pinky, or about a finger width, or we're right at 5 inches.
Linda said good tip.
Oh, thanks, Linda. I have good ideas every once in a while. And that's how I have learned to make wreaths, is by watching everybody. And I'm thinking, I'll think to myself, oh, if they just do this, that would work so much easier. And it may work for them. Everybody's different. Or else we'd have a bunch of wreaths for sale that all look the same. Here again, we're making 2 ribbons of each color on each side, but you're doing them just a little bit shorter than one another. This it's wider, but it's a satin ribbon. I really don't care for satin ribbon, but this one's not too bad. Better not be. I got 4 rolls of it. Okay. Oops, I twisted when I shouldn't have. See, as you go shorter, you'll have a little bit more ribbon left. Not much. But instead of measuring everything out, I just did 2 yards of each. Then lastly, our 1.5 inch. Now, a lot of times you will go 2, 1, 2, 1. That's called a 2-1-2 bow. And I just make up my own whatever, because I want to be different. I don't want the same kind of bow. Sometimes I do the same kind of bow, sometimes I don't. That's why I tend to make bows beforehand. Just make sure that they're going to look right, just because I'm probably not doing what everybody else is doing. But that makes us different. So we're going to do two loops on each side again. So now we're about down to 4.5 inches. Let's crunch that down.
Gail drawing.
Hi, Gail.
And Linda said, me too.
Another way you can make sure that your loops are the same way is bring them up here. See how they match? then you know you got your loops the same. Because once you get layers, you're not going to be able to see your marks as well. That's why I kind of use my finger. But most thing is important is you want to make sure that your loops are the same size. Because if you get your loops the same or the different size on each side, it won't look right when you're done. I've done it and then I've snipped the twist tie and done it all over again. I know a lot of people have. This glitter ribbon's a bit sticky and it's a little bit different to work with. But I still love it. Let's see, we're 2, yep. So see, this piece I'm going to have quite a bit left. I might save it for a center bow or a center loop. Maybe not. Okay, so you want to scrunch it all down. You want to get a tight stack. A stack is your stack of ribbons. I'll show you when I take it off. So I used to leave my stack all on top of themselves. But then I watched Angela and some other people kind of make their loops go out while it's on the bow maker. And it does tend to help you out a little bit of where, because your bow loops aren't just hanging out all on top of each other in your bow when you get it done. They're to one side and the other, and they're fluffed out. So I started doing it this way. Again, that's why I tend not to make my bows on camera, because I get a little fidgety. Don't worry about smashing things, because we're going to smash it anyway. So hold your finger there. There. Who?
Sarah.
Sarah. So when you pull, that is your stack. See that line where your dowel rod is? Now I normally leave my stack down and put my zip tie on, but for you guys, I took it off. Because sometimes I can't get my zip tie. If you drop your stack, just start over. There's no way to save it. So you don't want to tie this down completely, because you're still going to want to move some of your loops around. So you want your zip tie to be in that line where I say your stack is. That's your stack. So tighten it down a bit so you're not losing your stack. You don't want these to fold over on themselves. Okay, so I start from the bottom. Here's my tails. My tails aren't the same size, but I'm not so worried about that right now. I'm just worried about my bows, my loops. So twisting them, if you have ribbon that is twisted over on itself, or like there it's twisted under, this is your chance to get it fixed. So twisting them, now don't twist real hard, because like I said, we're not totally tightened down. But this is your chance to get them where you want them. Flip around here and do my other side. See, I can feel the ribbon twisted over on itself. So this is my chance to get it fixed. I hope. And I have glitter everywhere. Okay, so I got them about where I want them. You can still move them after we tighten down. It's just not... Oh, I didn't put my pipe cleaner through there. There we go. Always put your pipe cleaner in there before you tighten it down, or you're not going to get it in. I did that last night, and so I had to use a big needle. Tighten this down like the Dickens, like you cannot go anywhere. Okay, So here's our bow. See, I smashed it again. That's why I said don't worry about it. So now we're gonna, some people work from the top to the bottom. Some people work from the bottom to the top. I don't know if there's a right or a wrong way. I'm probably gonna cut my tails off a little bit. For a funky bow, you just want them sticking out just a little bit past your ribbon loops. What you do want, I do kind of curl mine a little bit. See, that ribbon is really stiff. Just keep moving around. Give them a tug. They're not going anywhere. You tighten down that zip tie good, they are not going anywhere. I think this one's a little bit bigger than the other one I made. I might have done 5" on that one. So I'm going to cut my ribbon tails just a little bit because I don't want them quite that long. Like I said, cut off a little bit at a time or else you can't put it back. No super glue is going to hold that ribbon together. So if you just joined, we launched our website. It is ourbackroomrecreations.com. I still have my Etsy page, but everything on my Etsy page is on our website. So I'm trying to transition people over to it. I have like 100 signs on there. We have wreaths. We have Sezzle. If you don't know what Sezzle is, it is you can pay for it in installments. 4 installments.
No interest.
No interest. So if you want a wreath, you haven't been able to get one because of money, I get my money all up front, but they do installments. It's interest free and it just comes out of your bank every 2 weeks. So I think I fidgeted it enough. So here's our bow. Kind of like a funky bow. Hey, Cherry. Thanks for joining. So we're just going to take our pipe cleaners and we're just going to go down to meet our frame. So I got it back here. I'm around my frame. Now don't pull it down real tight. You don't want your bow down in a sinkhole. You want it just sitting on top of your wreath, snugly, but not in a sinkhole. Then you want to make sure, I'm not going to do it all right now, but you want to make sure that you wrap all your pipe cleaners around to make it nice and clean back here. Here, I'll almost get it done. There. So there, I just wrapped it right next to another one. Both of these will be in the shop for sale. The kit to do it is $38. And to buy them in the shop was $50. You have to get, if you're going to use Sezzle, you have to get at least $50 worth of stuff. Okay, so there's that. So let's go back to our sign. Now this sign is only available in the kit. I did not make it available to buy separately. So see, there are E600 is dry, but it's going to stick either to itself on something else or another sticky surface. If I can get the backing off. So you just stick your little cable mounts. I use small ones on a small sign. You can use the bigger ones. You will have 2 of these included in your kit. For those local to me, I am going to start doing classes. I'll do virtual classes where we'll be in a private Facebook group. you'll order a kit from me and either pick it up from me at work or at home, and then you'll do it. I'll do it along with you, kind of like today. Those of you who have been here from the beginning, a slower paced learning opportunity to make a wreath along with me. Normally I'm flying through, not giving as many explanations or showing as much as I did today. So there's our sparkle like a snowflake. I do have a bigger size for sale in the shop. I think it's a 6x12 or an 8x12. I can't remember. But this one's just with the kit. So I tend to put my bows about 5 o'clock and my sign about 10, 11 and angle just a little bit. Kind of the different wreaths, depending on how you're doing them. My sign may go in the middle, it might go on the bottom. Kind of just depends. But on this one, this is where they're going. Same as with the sign, as with the bow, you don't want to, if you sink it down in here, it's just going to smash everything. So you just want it laying on top. So we're going to do the shake test here in a minute. Make sure all my stuff is not jiggling loose. You see that one that far. It's almost a little too tight. Your ribbons are gonna, some of your ribbons are gonna get hid. Just make sure they're fluffed out what way you want them, and then put the sign on. No matter what you put on your wreath, something is gonna get covered up. I just not like to cover up all the mesh because I like to see it. Because I try to pick out pretty colors. How you doing, Terry? Okay. Switch me to the other camera, honey.
What?
Switch. He's got earbuds in. He always don't hear me. He's got to make sure my sound stays on. So this is all I'm putting on this wreath. If you want to put, you know, what would look really cute, I'm not going to put it in the kit, but something like this. Now these I bought from a wholesaler that you need a license for. But wouldn't this be so cute on here? It's a little snowflake ornament. Just foam and glitter. But putting little snowflakes on here, that would be cute. My personal preference is I wouldn't put too much on it because you'd hide it. But this is our PIXIE wreath. Like I said, I have 4 of them left in my shop. Our shop does take Sezzle. Go check it out. Everything that was on my Etsy is in the shop and you can buy it there. Shipping's the same.
Linda said she loves those snowflakes.
Aw, thanks. I got them from Sims. I don't know if you have your wholesale license or not, but I got them from Sims. So I want to thank you for everybody that came by and checked me out and stayed a while and watched us make a wreath. I hope that my slowdown of explanations will help anybody in the future if they buy the kit, or just if they watch the video and maybe want a slower version of what exactly everything you do with everything and what things that you need.
Does have her business license.
Oh, you do? So I bought those at Sims, Linda. I bet you they'll run out too, so you might want to get some if you want them. You know, I'll probably trim these tails just a little bit more. They're a little longer than I like. But there it is. So if you're watching the replay, please let me know and type replay in the comments. So I can.
Said, good job, honey.
Oh, thank you, Angela. So, any questions, feel free to email us at info@ourbackroomcreations.com, and Floyd and I will get back to you as soon as we can. So, thank you again for stopping by.
Linda said you were great, very informative, good job.
Thanks. Alrighty, you guys have a great day and happy crafting.